Right, well, it's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning. It's Saturday and I'm off out again, sneaking around the urban environment, and we're going to do some guerrilla willow planting. We did some the other day and I couldn't video it properly, so we're going to plant some more and then I'll show you some of the willow cuttings that I planted the other day. So here they are. There's around probably about 30 there. So we're going to nip out while it's nice and early, and there's not many people about around here this time of the morning, and we're going to get them planted and do our bit to help collapsing ecosystems and to provide habitat for animals and insects and stuff. Right, so without any further ado, let's get out and let's get these beauties planted. Okay, so this is the first place that I called at the other day, where I planted around probably about 60 or 70 dotted about here and there. As I say, the video failed to work for some reason, so I'll just show you a little bit of planting that I did, and let's just hope that they're still here and nobody's yanked them up. Let's have a look. Come on, me beauties, where are you? Right, so what I've done is, and it's worked for me before this, when I've put the willow cuttings in, I've put a piece of cardboard at the base. Now I know this site, I've been coming here and picking various wild soft fruits for a couple of decades. This grass doesn't get very long, but this will still help to keep the grass from around the willow as it's growing. So it's pretty easy fix. I just cut a load of squares. I've dotted them about everywhere. So why I picked this area particularly, as you can see, and probably here, it's quite a soggy, damp area. So one of the great things about willow is its ability to use up quite a bit of water. So here's some more here that I planted at the side of the path. And willow's actually used in the Lake District in Cumbria as flood prevention on the banks of rivers, so it makes sense to use it for this also. So there's some more. And yeah, like I say, I've been coming to this area probably for close on 20 years. There's loads of blackberries down here. There's comfrey down here in abundance. I've had firewood from here, and there's elderberries. So it's a great spot, and it's one of those sort of places that you get close to a heavily populated, built-up urban area where they're not likely to build on. I don't know whether there's a former mine shaft here or something, but I think this will stay a green oasis in the middle of a heavily populated urban area. So yeah, let's get some more planted. Okay, so we've gone further into the site, and this is normally, this path further down here is where I pick my fruit, and I've also, from this bit of the woods here that goes right down to a river overflow, I've also tapped birch here on a couple of occasions. And I've always made sure, of course, that I've plugged the hole up properly after I've tapped the birch, as we don't want the tree bleeding. This is quite depressing, this really. This is where this previously was covered It's like a jungle in here. So a lot of the plants that have been here, mainly Japanese knotweed, Himalayan balsam and other invasive species, a lot of them were cleared. Looks like they were cleared last year maybe. So all this crap here is some of these lazy buggers that live in the houses in the area have been dumping the crap here, and you can see it's them because it's just been thrown down the hill from out of the back of people's back gardens. And I planted a few willow cuttings here the other day. There's one. I think I managed around 20 in this spot, so we're going to plant roughly the same again, and then we're going to move on. And anybody who's thinking of doing this, it's a very sort of tangible and a direct way of helping to heal ecosystems, helping to make urban areas a little bit greener. And I mean, I've grown my own willow for decades on allotment plots, and I've got loads on a community food growing project that I run in Bolton. But if you don't have your own willow, I'd suggest going and taking cuttings from young willow that you'll find in a lot of places over the winter, or actually buying some of the cuttings from eBay. They're not that expensive nowadays. You could probably get around 50 cuttings for about a tenner, so well worth it. And what I've always tried to do when I do this guerrilla willow planting is I plant the willow with and in between other trees, because I don't want to create a monoculture. That's one of the big problems of when human beings have interacted with the natural world, our absurd monocultures. Right, so let's get on with it and let's get some more planted in this messy bit here. Okay, so here we are further up the road in a local graveyard, and there's a few reasons why. I planted about 30 here the other day, but they're unlikely to get pulled up or disturbed here. So what I did, I planted them all the way along the side here up to that large tree there. And the other reason why I planted them here is because there's a primary school just over there, quite a large primary school where the kids play out, and we're near a very, very busy main road. So you would hope that over time, if I can manage to plant hundreds down here, that maybe the trees will mop up some of the carbon and pollution and maybe protect the kids a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. But also, at least the trees down here will provide a little bit of habitat and food for local wildlife. So I'm just going to go further down here. I'm not going to plant them along this edge here because it's very close to gravestones, and there's a fair chance that whoever looks after the graveyard would probably cut them or pull them up or something. So we're going to go down to the bottom here where there's an out of the way area where anything that I plant isn't likely to be disturbed. And strangely enough, this over the years, this has been another place where I've managed to get soft fruits from. There's quite a few large blackberry bushes in here, and there's a couple of elder trees on the approach to where I came down from the main road, and I used to use the elderberries off that tree for some workshops that I was delivering in East Manchester. And it was really funny actually, because on the way to the bus stop I'd grab a big bunch of elderberries and use them for the workshop. Right, so we're going to sneak a few in this spot here, and then we're going to move further around. Okay, well, that's me done. So I've planted around, I didn't count, but it's probably 25, 30 along these edges here. So probably a rough estimate, I've probably planted around 50 or 60 in this graveyard in the last week. And like I say, I've kept them off the main path, so there's a greater likelihood of them surviving, and I've kept them away from where there's likely to be long grass growth. And there's a little bit of irony really that I'm planting in a graveyard, particularly when we look at humanity and what an appalling mess we're making of this beautiful planet, and how we're probably going to end up, well, hopefully not, but we could end up in a graveyard a lot sooner than we anticipate if we don't act. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll be out again soon planting willow. Hope you have a good day and look after each other. Over and out.